Hi, I'm Kimberly Calderbank for Community Cultures. This is our final show for the season this year. At the holidays, we're here with Salvation Army Burlington to hear what they have going on for our community. Joining me now is Laura Orris, Director at Burlington Salvation Army. Laura, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome, Kimberly. Thank you.
I would love to hear a little bit about your role here at the Salvation Army.
Well, I've been here in a director role since August 2020. I started here on a permanent basis just before the pandemic started. So I've watched some changes happen since then, so since August 2020 as director.
I would imagine this is a passion project. There's a lot of good stuff that goes on here. Can you tell us what happens in this room specifically?
For sure. So typically when a client comes in and meets with our family services worker, we'll understand their need. They'll come in here and they'll take a shopping cart and they'll walk around and choose the items that they want for their family per the size. So they'll be able to choose different staples, some treats, and we have a refrigerator and freezer that will give them their proteins and fresh vegetables. And a lot of our fresh vegetables are donated from partners in the community, and if we don't have enough, we of course purchase those, and we purchase our proteins.
Let's talk about those partners. That's one of the good stories that we hear as we're out in community, the amount of different partners that are working together to really make this happen. What other partners in the community are you working with here?
Well, there's so many. I like to start, the ones that come to mind right away are the schools, the kids, the moms, the neighborhoods that are going around collecting food for us every week. And we have realtors, Florian Realty, we have Donnell Insurance, we have our food partners, we have Burlington Food Bank, Food for Life, that are great partners of ours, Wellington Square, we all help each other. So it's we call it the Food Network because we really are there for each other and we keep each other up to date on what the needs are in the community. But our food partners on a daily basis are really those who bring the food to us. And it's anywhere from one person to companies who have drives, and so that's really how it works.
Food security isn't the only thing you're in here. You also provide other items and other opportunities for folks. What are those?
Absolutely. Food is a part of it, but really, and actually when I started here, that was what my passion was, it's programs. It's how do we lift people up outside of just the need for food. So we have other programs that support electrical. They can apply for electrical support. A stay-at-home initiative that we have winter warmth. We send kids away camp for a couple of weeks in the summer. We have mental health support that we're putting in, Red Cap programs, and budgeting is something we're starting up, and art, all kinds of things like that. So we have other programs to try to get to know our clients more so that they feel more comfortable to open up with us and so we can lift them up out into the community further.
And how can people find out whether or not they should be coming here or could receive services from here?
Well, we certainly have our website. Everybody shares, our external partners, we all share each other's names. We're connected with the government websites, we're connected with politicians. If you search the Salvation Army, you'll get a listing of all our programs, whether it's in Canada or across the country. They'll be able to find where they can get the help. But in Burlington specifically, it's all online. It's all online.
Now, you mentioned you started just at the beginning of the pandemic, and so you've probably been through quite a journey here at the Salvation Army. What stands out to you most about your position, and why do you love it so much?
Oh, I don't know if there's enough Kleenex for that. Well, you come to the Salvation Army, I believe, and I can't speak for other partners, but I know for myself coming here, I felt called to come here. There was a real need. And where I see the differences is that one person who's standing at the door who you identify and you see they just look like they're struggling a little bit. You just go behind the screen and you say, how can I help you? Is there something other than food? And they may just need a hug, they may need a word of support, they may need a quiet room to sit down in. And that's really, I think, where we make a significant difference.
And is there a story that has stood out to you over the past year that you'd like to share with us that really hit home as a really impactful piece for the Salvation Army?
Well, I can think of one. I won't certainly share the name, but there's I'll call her a friend at this point. There's a lady who I can describe was kind of running from life. She came to the door, she needed some help, it was in the midst of the pandemic, and she looked and she just ran. She ran back to her car. She couldn't get the words out for what she needed. So myself and another family services worker, we dropped everything, ran to her car. I said, pop the trunk, just fill her trunk up. And I asked her what else she needed. And we were able to identify she needed some mental health support. Subsequently, we were able to get that for her, and her kids came back to say thank you. Her daughters came back, and they literally just wanted to give us a hug and say thank you. And she thanks us, and she wants to come and volunteer now. And that's a story very close to my heart.
It's a wonderful full circle moment when people are able to move through a program and then come back and want to give back. Just
that's
wonderful.
It, 100%.
Thank you so much,
You're
Laura.
welcome.
Heather is the Kettle coordinator here at the Salvation Army Burlington. Heather, what does that mean?
Well, I get to coordinate the Burlington Kettle Campaign, and right now, starting at tomorrow, we have 13 locations in Burlington where we have a kettle out. And so it's very exciting. We have many grocery stores and the malls and different locations that people are able to sign up and volunteer at one of these locations.
You see these kettles everywhere throughout the community, and I know there was a little bit of a shift from last year, this year, and there are actually people standing at the kettles again. I imagine that makes quite a big difference when it comes to donations.
Absolutely. I was out visiting a site today and noticed a gentleman, one of our volunteers, just greeting people and wishing them Merry Christmas, thanking them when they make a donation, and it really makes a difference because when someone's there, I believe people are more inclined to stop and make a donation, so it really makes a difference.
And they do look a little different than they have previously. There's a new option the past couple of years as well. What is this all about?
Well, we call this Tip Tap, and this is our donation board where you can donate using your debit or credit card. So it's very simple. All the donor has to do is hold a card up to the amount that they wish to tap, and it just makes a beeping sound and the donation goes through. And each of these can be tapped more than once too for donors that want to contribute a little bit more.
I think what's great about this is it's always that, you're ruffling through trying to find some change or trying to find some bills to pop in, but there's no excuse, is there, Heather? Because you can just tap with one of your cards here and make a donation.
Absolutely, yeah. And people are happy about that too, because of course, as you know, everybody taps nowadays for their groceries, so it's much simpler for them as well.
Certainly. So the program is already up and running and you're at your locations. Can you still have volunteers? Are you looking for others to join you as well?
Yes, absolutely. We still have some spaces for volunteers, and we would love to get some new volunteers out as well, and we love volunteers that have come back from the past, but it's always nice to get some new people out, and so if they are interested, anyone that's interested could email me at heather.crossing@salvationarmy.ca or call. The phone number is 289-775-4715. And I would love to hear from anyone over the age of 17 to stand at a kettle by themselves, but children are more than welcome to come with parents or adults.
I think it's an excellent way to engage the families or some friends and get involved and come on out and stand at a kettle and just greet people in the community. This is a special job and you get to run the Kettle program. Why do you do this? Why do you love it so much?
Well, I really enjoy it, and it's such a blessing to be able to be a part of this organization. The Salvation Army in Burlington do such great work in the community, and I get to be a part of it, and I feel very excited about that. It's a real opportunity to get to know just people around Burlington, the people that want to volunteer, and it's exciting to pack the bags in the morning, get the kettles out to all the locations, meet the volunteers, and just be a part of this great campaign.
What's the goal this year, Heather? What's the campaign goal?
Yes, the goal is $330,000 for Burlington Kettle Campaign. And as of now, I believe we're just over $100,000 raised. So it's very exciting. We have about 10 days left of the campaign. So still lots of time for people to come out and make a donation and make a difference.
And if they can't get to one of the kettles, is there another way to donate as well?
Absolutely. We're located here at 5040 Mainway in Burlington, and people can drop by and make a donation here in person, online as well, I believe, through the Salvation Army website. And certainly we're easy to find online too.
And where will the donations from the Kettle Campaign go moving forward?
They go right back into the community, in this particular community, obviously. And as Laura mentioned, lots of programs that go on here at this location on Mainway, serving people that need it. So it goes right back into the community.
James is a volunteer here at the Burlington Salvation Army. James, how long have you been volunteering?
I joined last February, just a month before all the craziness of the pandemic hit.
What inspired you to come along and volunteer here?
Oh, well, this was something I was thinking about even before I retired. A few years before I retired, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do in my retirement life. And this was pretty much at the top of the list. There's a lot of neighbors I have who have either worked or are still working for the Salvation Army, all good people. And I just thought that was something I wanted to do. Plus, I wanted to work at a food bank. I wanted to work at a food bank because I wanted to do something to give back. And I thought, what better way to give back than to work at a food bank where you're helping people with their most basic needs. You know, people need to eat.
So what is your role here, James? What does volunteering usually look like for you?
Well, twice a week, our great partner, Food for Life, brings us over a shipment of fresh produce. Okay. So my colleague Marion and I, we go through the shipment, we repack what needs to be repacked because a lot of stuff comes in bulk. We see that it gets safely stored away, and we also help get it up to our clients at the front of this building, right, so that they can get fresh produce when they come. So that's 2 shifts a week. And when I'm not doing that, there's lots of other stuff that need to be done, including sorting donations into these donation boxes that you can see behind you. And I just love working back here in the warehouse. I did it when I was a kid, and I love it now.
It's great that you mentioned a partner of Food for Life. I imagine there's lots of other partners at play. I believe the Rotary is involved as well in the operations here.
Yes, every year I've been doing the kettles. The Rotary Club has been heavily involved. They come and take out the kettles in the morning. They're moving the kettles back and forth for us. The Rotary Club also comes in periodically in groups to do sorts. So sometimes we get a lot of donations come in, especially after Thanksgiving, and they will send a group of people in and they will help sort all the donations into these boxes.
One of the things I love talking about on community cultures is sort of the community you've built for yourself here. Coming here a couple times a week, you've made new friends, people you probably wouldn't have known otherwise. What is the Salvation community for you now?
Well, this is really, it's what I do. It's my purpose in life. This is very, very important to me. I treat it like a part-time job. As you just said, there are so many terrific people that I've met in the last 2 years. And we got a great group here. We're all supportive of each other. And it's just, for me, it's just a great atmosphere to work here. And I feel, especially during the pandemic, that coming here, I'm able to do something, to contribute, to be part of something really good.
Is there a particular story that stands out to you as something that is just so impactful that you've experienced while here?
Not so much a particular story, but I enjoy working with, we have a program, it happens every other Wednesday. It's run by Joseph Brandt, but it's facilitated by the Red Cross, where we get staple foods, boxes and produce out to them. Drivers will come around to the back of the warehouse and we load them up with boxes and bags of food, and then they drive them out to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to get out and buy food. So it's another partnership. Mm-hmm. And it's one that I look forward to every other Wednesday.
There's a lot of goodness going on here and in the community. If you were pitching to a neighbor as to why they should come and volunteer here, what would that pitch be?
Well, if you want to do something and you want to give back to the community and you want to see the fruits of your labor, there's no better place to come, because you can see the people coming to our front doors and you know you're doing something good by helping out back here. You know, it's not something where you're working and you don't really see the end result. You can see it here every shift.